Hello. Hello. Yeah. Is it audible? Yes, right. Vinay Krishna, I think you attended for design and analysis of algorithm classes, right? Okay. For same batch, I'm going to deal the other subject. Okay. Thank you, Vinay Krishna. Right. So we will discuss about in this semester. I'm going to deal object-oriented programming using Java. Padmavati, so how are you?
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm
Good
fine.
afternoon.
Nice
Okay,
to
good.
see you again, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. So, have you written DA exams?
It's good, but not up to the mark because last minute preparation. I missed
Oh,
some classes. So
okay.
actually, I went to abroad, so I missed some classes. I was trying to cope up.
Okay.
And, okay, but I did okay.
Okay, good. What about you, Vinay
Around
Krishna? Tell me.
about 75% I'm expecting, ma'am.
Okay, good. Very good. What about you, Vinay Krishna? Have you wrote your exams? Okay. Okay, good. Right, nice. Again, nice to see you all for one semester again. Right now, in this semester, I'm going to deal object-oriented programming using Java to you all. Right. So this is
Yes.
a first module. In first module, we are going to discuss about the basic concepts. That is, what are the key attributes of object-oriented programming? All these here, whatever we represented here, that is object, class, method, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. All these are the key attributes of object-oriented programming, right? We are going to know about what is object, what is class, what are the methods, what about the abstraction, and what about encapsulation? Those all things I will explain. So before going to know about these key attributes, first we are going to discuss about what the types of languages that we have. So as an introductory concept to Java, that is object-oriented programming using Java. So we are going to see some introductory concepts related to that. So after discussing those things, we will see what about the history of Java, and then we will see the buzzwords of Java, and then we will see all these concepts: what is object, what is class, and what is method, and how a Java main method is to be written, and what are the object-oriented concepts that we have. What about each concept? Those all things that we will discuss, and these are the basic textbooks that we will follow generally for object-oriented programming, the Java
Out of
program.
these three, which one you suggest, ma'am?
So, first one is a preferable one.
Okay, sure.
The first one is a very professional book. You can prefer the first one, first textbook, right? Now, coming to our subject, first we are going to know about what are the major families of languages that we have. Here we are going to know about one language, Java, right? Now, this is also one of the programming language. Java is one of the programming language. Here, object-oriented concept is not a language. Those are the concepts, object-oriented programming concepts can be implemented by using a programming language called Java, right? Now, we are going to learn Java, how we are going to implement Java to achieve all these object-oriented programming concepts, right? Now, first of all, what is a programming language? So here you can see a programming language is a formal language that specifies a set of instructions that can be used to produce various kinds of outputs. Those outputs may be text outputs, the outputs may be images, or the output may be something else, some patterns or like that, right? Now here it is a formal language. A programming language is a formal language. So which specifies a set of instructions. So here we will write a set of instructions, right? These set of instructions are executed in some platform. After the execution of that set of statements in some platform, we can get various kinds of outputs. That is to be called as a programming language, right? Now, we have majorly three families of languages. First one are procedural languages, structured languages, object-oriented languages, right? So first we are going to see about each and every one by one, right? So first, what about the procedural languages? What about the structured languages? What about the object-oriented languages? Coming to procedural languages, what are the important features of procedural languages, right? The main emphasis of procedural languages is on algorithm, not on data. So it mainly concentrate on algorithm. So whatever the algorithm we are designing, based on that algorithm is the main important here. First, it concentrates mainly on developing the algorithm. So it not mainly concentrate on data, how data is to be accessed, where the data is to be present. In all those things, it not concentrates, right? And programs are organized as subroutines. In case of procedural languages, the programs are organized as subroutines. So here you can see this entire diagram represents a procedural language diagram. So here you have a global data. Here this is one subroutine, this is other subroutine, this is other subroutine. These subroutines can access the data. Subroutine itself is nothing but a subprogram. You may not, you may get confusion. Routine, program. We use these two terms alternatively for the representation of program itself, right? Subroutine is nothing but a subprogram. And here, program controls are can be done in case of this procedural language. The program controls can be done through the jump statements or through calling of the subroutines. We will call these subroutine for the execution. Each and every subroutine should be called in the main program for the execution, right? And it follows a top-down approach. And mainly, it is useful for developing medium-sized software applications, right? And coming to the drawbacks of these procedural languages, there is a data security problem. That is, the data is globally available for all the subroutines. That's why there is a security issue. We are not providing privacy to the data. And it is very difficult to maintain the program code as well. And it doesn't model the real world problems very well. So we can model up to some extent, but we cannot model the real world problems very well in case of procedural languages. The examples for procedural languages are Fortran and COBOL, right? Fortran and COBOL are the examples for procedural languages. And coming to the next one, structured programming languages. Now, here, in case of structured programming languages, a program consists of multiple modules, and each module having a set of instructions and of a related type. Those instructions are of related type. So each module consists of a set of instructions. So here you can see this diagram represents the structural programming languages. So here this is module 1 and this is module 2, right? Each module consists of a set of functions of related types, right? Now, coming to the main features, here programs are divided into individual procedures that performs discrete tasks. So every function is performing one separate task. And procedures are having their own local data and processing logic as well. Each procedure is having, may have their own data and its own logic for processing. And it uses the concepts of, it introduces the concept of user-defined data types, and it maintains a large software system, which is costly. And coming to the drawbacks of these structured languages, here also somewhat data security problem is there, right? So even though every module is having its own local data, but some data is globally accessible. So that's why there are some security issues also. And this also not suited to model the real world problems very well. We can model up to some extent, but it is not suitable to it is not suitable very well for modeling the real world problems. And coming to object-oriented programming. So here, this diagram shows the object-oriented programming. So here you can see object A, object B, and object C. Now, here in case of object-oriented programming languages, the main emphasis is on data rather than the functions. It mainly concentrates on data. And here, the program modules are divided into different objects. And all the functions which are written in the objects are operated on the data which is provided here. And the objects may be communicated with each other. That is, this object may communicate with this object, and this object may communicate with this object. And wherever we want to add new data, we can easily add the data within the objects. And here, data is hidden. Within the object only the data is present. Outside, global data is not available. So that's why accessing of data by the external functions is prohibited here. So that's why it is providing somewhat data security, right? And it follows a bottom-up approach. Object-oriented programming follows a bottom-up approach. Now, I hope that you all understood what are the procedural languages, what are the structured languages, what are the object-oriented languages. Here in case of procedural languages, the main concentration is on algorithm, not on the data. Here, even though it is divided, the program is divided into number of modules, and each module is having its own logic. But here also we have some data security problems. But coming to here, the program is divided into different objects. Each object is having its own data, local data. So that's why we are providing some more data security. And here we are going to discuss about these programming languages. That is object-oriented programming languages. Now we are going to see what are the different object-oriented programming concepts and how our Java programming language is used to achieve all these object-oriented programming concepts. Those things that we are explaining. Now, where our object-oriented programming languages can be used? These can be used to develop some desktop applications. Maybe you may heard some such as Acrobat Reader and a media player, some antivirus softwares. All those can be divided, can be designed or developed by using this object-oriented programming Java only, and some web applications. Suppose you are in your day-to-day life, you are using IRCTC. That also developed in Java, and some enterprise applications such as banking applications and some mobile applications. And we can use these object-oriented programming concepts in our robotics as well, and games designing. So all these things are the various places where we use these object-oriented programming concepts, right? Now, coming to here, the main aim of our course is to provide a foundation in object-oriented programming concepts and the principles using the Java programming language. Okay, and here, what about Java? Java is a powerful and a flexible language. It opens up opportunities for exciting careers and allows you to turn your idea into reality. That is, many of the real world applications can be developed by using Java. So here we can begin by creating interactive programs, and we are going to learn essential concepts like how to control the flow of your program and how to use functions and how to design objects and how all these can be used to model the real world things. All these things that we are going to learn in this course itself, object-oriented programming through Java. Now, here you can see what is meant by object-oriented programming. Now, here, the object-oriented programming paradigm that revolves around the concept of objects. So, which can contain the data and code to manipulate the data. There we already see an object which contains data and function. So this function is used to manipulate the data which is present in this object, right? So when we explained about object, you can clearly understood there, right? What is, how manipulations are done in the data, how functions are used like that. You can see all those things. Now, first of all, we are going to see the characteristics of object-oriented programming, right? Here, these are the main characteristics of object-oriented programming language. So first one is modularity. Modularity means we can break down a program into smaller manageable parts, that is objects. A program may contain 10 objects or a program may contain 100 objects. So every program can be break down into smaller and manageable parts. And reusability. So objects and classes can be reused in different parts of the program or in other programs as well. The object which is written in, the object which is taken in one class or a class written in a program can be used in another program as well, right? Reusability is there. And also in sometimes the functions also. A function is written within an object. I'm using this object in another program means I can access the function of this object as well here, right? So here the objects can be reused, classes can be reused, as well as functions can be reused, right? And extensibility. So here we can add new features or we can modify the existing features without affecting the entire code base. Just we can do the changes wherever it is necessary without doing changes to the entire program. We can do the changes wherever it is necessary. If I need a change within one object, I can do the changes within that object only. No need of doing the changes in entire program, right? So like that, extensibility is possible. And maintainability is also possible since it is a modular, so easy to maintain and easy to update, right? So these are the main characteristics of object-oriented programming: modularity, reusability, extensibility, and maintainability. Next, coming to types of Java applications that we can develop. So we can develop 4 types of Java applications that what we already discussed: standalone applications, web applications, enterprise applications, and mobile applications. Standalone applications are nothing but desktop applications or window-based applications, such as Android.
Not getting your voice, ma'am. You're stuck. Ma'am, we are unable to hear your voice. Hello, ma'am. Sujata, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Can somebody speak?